Moin, you are the presenter now.
Okay, okay. Monitor 1 or 2 or
Yeah,
what?
it's like if it's monitor. Can you see the screen?
What can you see on your screen?
I see the slideshow now.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Thanks.
Okay. So, one minute. Sorry. So next, I don't know your name. Sorry. Okay, this introduction going on. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, sorry, Naren. Mhm. Yeah. Ramesh, sir, you know it better than probably.
Our own, setup for server software and all, or avoiding uh, uh, those how cloud
Moin, I'm so sorry, but I can't hear you at all. Your voice is very.
Okay, I didn't not yet started up. I'm just taking introduction of people who joined here.
I'm so sorry.
Ashish,
Yeah, sorry.
no problem. It'll take 2 more minutes. Probably. I'm just finishing up. Okay.
actually I about the cloud
So now a modification of his answer.
now I gather it's about Amazon.
Basha, sir, sir, you are an expert.
Income
Great. So let me start here. Definition of cloud is it's somewhere, but it's not here. There is definition. It's the collection of everybody say influencers up somewhere in a big data, but it's not here or it's not. It's somewhere, but it's not. Nobody knows where it is. Even Amazon knows that the data is running on this particular region or this particular area, but probably he doesn't know on which administrator doesn't know on which box it is running, on which rack it is running. That's why we call it as cloud. It's there, but it's not there. So why do you go for AWS? There's 10 plus years of experience in this industry, the market in public cloud. Okay. So why a bookseller initially like Amazon was a bookseller, Amazon.com, and why he's doing here? I mean, that's a very big question. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Ashish?
Yeah, I can hear you, Moin.
Great. Just interrupt me in case you don't hear me.
Sure, will do. Thank you.
So IaaS stands for infrastructure as a service. That means a storage as a service, probably networking as a service, machine as a service. That all comes under infrastructure. So we call it infrastructure as a service. There are other divisions of cloud computing, that's SaaS and PaaS. That stands for software as a service and platform as a service. We are not covering that. Okay. So coming to what Amazon doing in here. So Amazon is initially a bookseller. Okay, he has a very big data center, and he wanted to build up a data center to handle all its processing, like e-commerce website processing. Later on, he figured out, okay, I'm making such a big data center, and I'm making a best connectivity, best people. Why don't I take it as a full-time business? So then from there he started, and he started building up data centers at different places. So the idea is you will get the best connectivity. You will get the best networking expertise. You will also get everything, like you will not have any lagging networking issues. So if you build everything at your own data center, you might be saying that okay, cable working, it's not there, it's not upgraded. This is all includes the. So here basically pay for. I have a very good use case for that. I mean, suppose that you are working in a data center and you put a 160 GB RAM. Suppose the storage is full. What are you going to do? You want to buy a new 160 GB and put it down. But here you only pay for 2 GB or maybe 5 GB. You can actually pay for only extra. Not you need to pay for full 160 GB. That's the advantage of here. And, so what are the regions? So how Amazon works? It has divided everything into regions. It has like around 10 regions: Singapore, Virginia, California, where it set up its availability zones. So every region in Amazon has 2 availability zones. Let me show you something like this. So suppose that Bangalore is one of the regions. So in Bangalore, probably
Moin,
sorry.
Moin, actually, if you can come,
And that.
yeah, if you can come close to your machine and speak, it would be visible for all of us actually.
So what I was saying that suppose that let's consider the example of Bangalore. So let's assume that Bangalore is an availability zone. In that case, Bangalore is a region. In that case, there are 2 availability zones, maybe HSR and Koramangala. So the idea is region is a geographical area. I mean, it's a geographical area. I mean, Bangalore, Bombay, Chennai. This can be regions. Yeah. And availability zone are the data centers which are approximately 50 to 80 miles, whatever be the distance, approximately away. So why do we need an availability zone if there is a region? Why can't we have only regions everywhere? That's a big question. Why can't we only have regions, and why do we need an availability zone? Why do we need an SSR? Why can't we have Bangalore and Mysore, a different city itself? So the idea is there are a lot of things that run in a load balancing environment. So we can have one machine in HSR, one machine in Koramangala, and we can load balance it. Same thing works for the RDS, like database instances as well as server instances. So we can have like redundancy, high availability, and a fault tolerant thing by sharing our load across availability zone. Okay. So what is elastic computing? Anybody? Elasticsearch is something related to scalability, right? So elastic computing is basically scaling up and scaling down on demand. Okay. Now let's suppose that you found a company named as probably Cookbook. Okay, and that's related to some stuff related to cooking. Initially, you are fine with one server. Okay, but you notice that whenever there is a vacation, the demand goes up, and you might need 4 or 5 servers. But by the time you go ahead and you went to data center and you procure the servers, the demand goes down. So to meet up the demands on time, we can go for elastic computing, that is scaling up and scaling down on demand. The best example would be a stock market where the demand is from 9 to 3:30. There is a high load. I mean, the servers really on a very high transaction goes on a stock exchange. Probably in that case, we can go for time-based scaling. It is also a CPU-based scaling in which we can put up a condition like if CPU utilization goes above 70%, we can scale up an instance. For example, like let's say we start with this way, the end user will always get a high performance because they will never feel they are out of CPU. Okay. As soon as the CPU goes, average of 5 machine goes above 70%, the AWS will spawn an instance and instance count will come 6. Again, if average goes above 70, it will still spawn one more instance. Okay. But there's a limit on AWS. Everything comes with a limitation. I mean, you cannot spawn more than 100 instances, 30 running instances, 110 instances. If you're expecting such kind of traffic, it needs to be, you need to drop an email to support. Okay, I'm expecting around 100 running instances. Please increase my limit of AWS to 30 to 100. Then they'll do it. So because suppose that someone starts 100 instances and you say I'm not going to pay all, I don't know who start 100 instances. They put up a limit. I mean, you need to give a limit increase request and they will do it for you. This is how it works. Okay. Okay. Coming to the shared responsibility. So, instance is a VM in the Amazon Web Services. It's a virtual machine. It's a virtual machine in Amazon thing. We call it as instance. So, like some of the guys might be using a shared machine or a virtual machine in our environment. That's a kind of an instance. In VMware, we call it as a VM. In AWS, we call it as instance. Okay. This and if it's a database instance, we call it an RDS instance. If it's a computing or normal instance, like we call it as AWS or EC2 instance. Okay. So, what is the shared responsibility? I mean, I suppose that you guys create an AWS account. Let's say that probably Naren creates an AWS account. The first question Naren's coming to mind is it going to be secure? First question, everybody comes because you're putting your data here, you're putting your company's data, you're putting your personal data there. So the idea is it's a shared responsibility. What is the shared responsibility? Is Amazon is going to say that Amazon deploys the best practices for data center to be audited correctly, authenticated using multi-factor authentication. There is no unauthorized access in your data center. Provide a secure network to then what's left? I mean, then it's secure, right? It's not. Because suppose that Amazon gives you by default, if you use a Linux machine, it only gives you port 22 open. Okay. Now you open any random port, like you open a port 80 and somebody hacks you on that port, it's not Amazon's fault, right? So the idea is you need to open only those ports which are required. You need to give only access to those IPs to the database which is required. You simply give access to anywhere or all the IPs. Someone might try you, and then you can go ahead and you can say, "Oh, Amazon is not secure." That's not the case, right? And very few people know. Even the administrator of Amazon doesn't have access to your instance. Yeah, that's the kind of a thing they are implementing, and that's safe. I mean, it is very much possible that probably your competitors' instance of VM running in the same box because it's in the cloud. You don't know anywhere. So now the shared responsibility means that there is a responsibility shared. I mean, till Amazon responsibility is to provide the best networking, security, and everything. Now, to encrypt data, to open the right set of ports, to give access to the right set of IPs is your responsibility. Okay. Now anything happens if you give access and that's not going to be. Still, we have a use case where Amazon actually has the fully Jenkins instance. I mean, there was some person, we open a port 80 and somebody was only down putting downloading request. IT is open port, right? Somebody was trying to put only download requests. Okay, this download request was so high that actually it blocked the system. We got a mail from Amazon that somebody is trying to hack your system. Please shut down the. We have blocked all the access. Please take a backup of that and start a new. Yes. This is how Amazon still helps, but it's not his job. That's what I'm telling. And finally, there is no single point of failure. But suppose you found a server and the server is down, that is single point of failure, right? That's not. Actually, Amazon internally replicates all each and everything, at least two to three servers, two to three. If it's a storage stored in 2 to 3 NAS, internally it manages, it replicates. So even there is no single point of failure, but it still advises you to create your infrastructure in such a way that it is highly available, fault tolerant. Totally shared. I mean, you're saying that instance failed, right? What I got a point. In that case, the session will be transferred to the new instance, whatever be the whatever to replicate instance. If the order, for example, suppose that entire system is down, in that case, there are two options. You can load balancer. Okay. Load balancer can send request to different availability. No, right? So, sorry. That is how Amazon manages. It never tells how it's going to replicating and how it's going to managing and how it does. We know it replicates. Yeah, that's how it manages it, right? So you might not know that S3 is 99.50 times 9 durable. 50 times 9. Imagine like one instance will out of 10 million, one instance will load in probably 10 lakh years. That's how even normal. And apart from this, there's a good decomposition process. So every hardware comes with a life. I mean, for example, a keyboard or a CPU has a life of say 2 years. After 2 years, if you use it, there's a high chance of failure. So what they do for the storages and all these things, they decompose. There's a standardized process. I don't know what is the name of that particular thing. There's a standard. I forget the name of the standard. There's a standard way of decomposing. They not only wipe the data, they destroy the hard. So that it's standard. There's a way of way, and they get so that there's a life gets to use it, so that goes forever. Okay, whenever it fails. This probably answers the question that how they decompose, they again they decompose, again they get in this way. The durability of that system is more than ours because in our probably office we still use even if it's failing. I mean, okay, fine. Let's still use it till it stops responding. So there's a standard decomposition process of the hardware also in Amazon. And if you sign an ND, you can still get all those things. There is no lifetime of instance. I mean, you can have it forever. You will not know that. That's what I'm telling now. In the back end, it will happen. That's what. In the back end, they will decompose and they will give a new instance, and you will not even get a downtime in a decomposition. Yeah. Okay. So let's come to the EC2. It is a most basic service. It stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. It's a kind of a server on cloud, or someone can say VM on cloud. But before, yeah.
One question. Some years back, not now. AWS,
Correct.
a lot of people who were blocked, I lost business in that time. Maybe what did they do different? I don't know whether you tested that.
I know it. That's it. One entire region went down sometime back, like 5-6 years back. Yeah, I know that went back and it was restored. Data was not lost. I mean, they restored it completely.
Yeah, but it didn't affect all the clients. Some clients in the past had responsibility. So unless they had it available zones, if they are only one zone.
That's, I'm not sure how they recovered it, but they recovered it, and I aware that whole thing happened, but I don't know how they recovered it, and I'm not sure about what clients lost their data. At least as far as my knowledge, they recovered it, and business was normal, but the affected was like or almost like 6 hours. The business was affected, approximately 4 to 6 hours. So coming to the pay-per-use scalable servers. Before coming to this, so you need to know anybody is taking an image like AMI, Amazon Machine Image. Anybody has any idea on Amazon Machine Image? Okay, suppose that you start a new account here in AWS, and all thing you know is you need to start the server. Okay. First, starting a server from scratch is going to be a big deal. So you need to install Tomcat, you need to install this, you need to install that. So the idea is you get a ready-made stuff, which is the community AMIs. So there are 3 kind of AMIs. Let me share it. I'll explain you how to. So this is what it looks like. Here you can launch instance. It gives you certain options. Okay. So before choosing what hardware sizing you require, it's a plain instance. So probably you want to start with the LAMP stack, or probably you want to start with the Ruby on Rails, or what. You can decide it from here. Okay. So here, suppose that you require this one. Okay, I want to require an Amazon. Okay. Installed in your box. You don't need to go and install this. Okay. So the idea is it will give you a quick start to your module. Now, any AMIs you have particularly created and come here, Marketplace will go there, and you can probably find, like, for example, Nagios you want to go. You want to go for Nagios, you want to go for Oracle, which is not supported by AWS in a database currently. Then you can probably go here and search for Nagios. So this is one server that contains Nagios, if I'm not wrong. But as soon as you click here, you will have to what kind of okay. This is very important here. This is the most of the software. This software vendor is going to charge. This is the rest of that Amazon is going to charge. So this is for example, tomorrow if you come up with an open source stuff, and which is very difficult to bundle with Amazon, you can probably bundle it with Amazon and give it as a community AMI. And whatever software that comes here comes to your account. It looks easy, but it's not. I mean, for example, like a new like some setup is very difficult to make. You can make the setup document community AMI. Probably people can use and use instead of community AMI. That way you can give them a bundle to them. Another example is Nagios. So, as you know, these are different what I want to explain is this window will only come when you go for community AMI. If you go for your normal instances like normal RHEL or Ubuntu or this thing, it will not come. This particular form is from community AMI. Yeah, we can have custom. I'm coming to that. Okay. Okay. So, how Amazon sells instance types is by a family. So T2 is a kind of a family of instances. Okay. So servers, all servers have CPU, memory, of course, all these features. So what is this family? I mean, this based on the different requirements you cater. This T2 is usually used for development environments and sometimes for the productions also. So what T2, what is a T2? It accumulates CPU credits if you are not using it. I'll just give you an example here to understand more better. See, depending upon the instance size. Now, suppose in 1 hour you didn't do anything, the system was idle. This 3 CPU credits is a balance. So whenever you, for example, developers usually work for like 8-10 hours. For the remaining 12-14 hours, system is idle. So this 12 into the 36 hours can use when the developer comes up to help the burst output. Give the burst output to the system. So this is how it helps. I mean, for the system that is not, this is not recommended for production system, of course, because production system you need to be off by 24/7. This is basically good for development environments. But this is not recommended for production system, as it requires a high CPU. Because of things like how many now vCPU stands for virtual CPU. It's a kind of a Xeon processor. Now, this is kind of where you can assume that how much CPU power it is getting. Let's go to the different family. Let's go to the latest family. General purpose, and this is a general purpose. I mean, they provide a good balance of compute, memory, and good choice of application. The one thing I forgot is T2 is not very good for I/O. T2 is not very good for high input output. Okay, this is based on my past experience. Before M4, it was M3. So you can see that suppose that you require a machine that is 2 GB RAM. 8 GB RAM and probably 450 GB of EBS throughput. I'll come to the EBS. Okay. So these generations are based on your demands of some application required high CPU, some application demand high memory, some application required high graphics. So based on the requirement, we can go for this. Probably most of the things here will not have storage. You might have noticed it. The storage is one that is coming from EBS. I'll come to EBS. So M3 can compute for CPU. C4 is the latest, C3 is the old. Memory R3, G2 for graphics, high input output, storage, dense storage, and this is our instance metrics. So let's come to the here. Okay. The free trial eligible. So Amazon gives a lot of stuff for free. I mean, for 1 year. Yeah, but unfortunately, nothing comes for free. I mean, they give you like 744 instances for micro instance. You cannot run anything with 1 GB of RAM. If you're running a production system, even if you're running a developer environment, you need at least 2 GB of RAM. So the idea is you only get tested how Amazon is using, how Amazon is, and even once you use it, it's fine. And if you don't want to use it, you can probably cut the Amazon account. So when you sign up for Amazon, you probably need to give a credit card out of it. Without credit card, you cannot sign up. Amazon doesn't give any warning that okay, this credit limit is that much or nothing. Every 30 days, 30th of month, they simply charge your account. If you have any unused instances and you forgot to shut it down, it's your responsibility. It's a shared responsibility. So, yeah, that's one of the bad things about Amazon that it doesn't warn you for the bill alerts. There's a billing alerts. I mean, the billing alerts you can set up for $800 or $1,000, but they are not going to call you. You set up alert, you will get email on your account. Registered account, or you set up already clear the threshold of this. Okay. Let's go to the presentation. Ephemeral storage. Anybody has heard this term, ephemeral storage? Sure, nobody has done. So let me explain with probably a kind of a diagram that will help you. So, and network based storage. Okay. So your system is running here with some development, research, and all. Finally, you decide to stop the instance to save cost. Because this is what another line of Amazon to take it up. So this is when you shut a device, ephemeral storage goes off. Anything that is on ephemeral storage is wiped out. But the block will go for the new customer from Amazon who is paying, who is starting the instance in that particular. So even if you stop instances, you will not get. Okay. So that you should not save ephemeral storage. What we should store? Block store. Elastic block store is a permanent storage, and okay. Does it make sense for you? It's really complicated. This was shown this diagram because it's difficult to understand without a diagram. Everybody clear on this? Okay. So elastic block store is a common. Elastic is what vCPU we discussed. Not same, might be not same, dedicated server, not same. Only thing will same would be availability zone. Even if you use a static IP, what happens here is the static IP is something like let me explain to the other people. So so there are two options: public IP and private IP in Amazon. Public IP is usually we call it elastic IP in Amazon. So what happens here is elastic IP is like a permanent IP given to you and you pay for that. And whenever you put an elastic IP to say a Tomcat server, okay, So what happens here is that that whenever you start a server, that IP is assigned to your Tomcat server. But in this case, this instance stops. Okay. And you start instance here. Whatever is the IP assigned here, that automatically assigned here. But one thing is sure that your underlying instance is going to change, that internal storage is going to get clear. You will never get slots. Very rare. Like so many slots of instance and getting one in a million is like very rare. Okay. Now licensing fee. I'm sure everybody is using a license software, at least for the client. Okay. So what Amazon comes with a model is like Ashish, can you hear me? Ashish?
Yes, Moin, I can hear you. Other than that, Imperial
Great.
storage, everything else was clear.
Other than?
Other than Imperial storage, which you're telling, everything else was
I know it is little complicated. That's why I want to draw on a diagram, and probably I can explain you the kind of later, probably in after this session.
sure, no issues. No issues, Moin.
Yeah, great.
This service working like RAM, right? RAM
It's not like a RAM. It's like a plug and play. When you plug it, it's there. You remove it, it's out. RAM is a different thing, and storage is a different thing.
what is that? Yeah, I have math. Everything on this.
Well, no, that's what. Because there is a faster. There is a faster access to this box. This means so by networking, this is a faster access. So something you need to have a faster access like cache or something. You can run it in such a way. I mean, it's application design concept. I mean, this is a very fast access story. But it's local, right? It doesn't need to go with the networking also to get to the access of VPS. I mean, we can. This is more of an architectural design. I mean, we can do that. Yeah, you're right. We can do that.
For having that incident story,
So there are a lot of ways we can store that. I come to that. When you now suppose that let's take your example that you put something important on this, and you want to have it processed. Okay. In that case, you can take option. You want this will take a snapshot for then you can the launch option. So when you launch whatever is the state of machine at that case, including ephemeral storage, you can relaunch here or here, whatever it was. This is one way to make sure that nothing is lost in ephemeral storage. This is one way. And there are some instances which are EBS banned instances. But if it goes to the database documentation, there are something like EBS banned instances which doesn't have a. So licensing fees, for example, like you have Windows instance, okay, but Windows comes with Windows is a licensed software. So how do we do that? I mean, do we need to buy a license or not? Anybody has any idea on this? And Oracle or something. So here we have two options here in Amazon. Either you get your own license and put it in license, or you pay Amazon that don't have a license. Amazon will increase the per instance our cost. Okay. For example, for instance, is like $1, they may charge you like $1.50 per hour. This way, the license costs are covered and the profit is shared between the vendor and Amazon. This is how it is. I mean, the licensing is work in cloud like this. I mean, either you get for example, like suppose that there is a company and who's already invested hugely in licensing costs and they want to invest more on this. So probably this can go for BYO option. They can simply spawn an instance and put the licensing fee there. And this way, the licensing cost they don't need to pay it.
If I'm going with Amazon,
Yeah. No, this is you're paying in pennies more. This is like you're paying like half an hour.
much for Oracle listen. Oracle is a partner with sorry.
No,
Oracle is a partner with
that's really what I'm asking about. You already invested in licenses. That's what you are. If you don't have invested, you can basically. So, Rackspace works in a different way. Rackspace is like you go to Rackspace, there's a Rackspace manager and all. Here, it's like self-operated. I mean, AWS is mostly self-operated. You do it. There is a manager. There is a relationship manager for big accounts, like more than $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. In that way, if you go, okay, I need to have 20 licenses for the Oracle, then in that case, they can also have. But for a single startup or something, they might not take this. And there's also AWS premium support in which they support for the technical issues. And in normal basic support, which sounds free, they don't provide support only for building an account related issues. They provide. They don't provide technical support. So it's more like you need to operate everything yourself. I recommend everyone, even if you want like to learn more, you should actually have you should use the free tab, which I cover in the next session, how to get best advantage of free tab. At least get a sign up for AWS account, use free services, try it up, and you might learn something new. It's really nice thing. Let's continue with covered. Reserved instances. Now, let's say that probably we are sure that we are not going to increase the size for M3 large to M3 extra large, and we are going to have it for a long time. So Amazon provides like around 40% discount for reserved instance. What is the reserved instance? Reserved instance comes with a contract. There's a 1-year contract and a 3-year contract. Okay, let me explain it here. So reserved instance, you basically pay an upfront fee and you get a discount on a per hour cost in general terms. You pay upfront fee of $100, $200, $1,000, whatever it is. Depending on instance type, and you get a huge discount on a per hour cost. Like yeah. Just we are discussing about free tab. You can get our charge if you are running or this is off. Load balancing, you can get this. Volume. You want to pay for a credit card, which is just explain the pricing options of that. So these are the options. Let's go with the M3 large. Okay, let's go with the M4 large. Let me explain this calculation. So you don't pay anything upfront. $1.12. But this you are buying for like what is partial 0.06. Now, someone asked me a question, like really interesting question, like, okay, I'm paying for $600 and I don't use this for like 6 months. What will happen? Then after 6 months, you will charge for whatever is the rate. If 6 months you're not going to use it, better not go for it. Better you should not go for any contract. You should go for on demand only. This kind of model is suited for only whose for large, for large, it has a small instance. Probably there's a reserve instance market where Amazon. But suited for someone who want to be 100% sure that I'm going to use this instance type for this money. And we can go to 60% discount. So everybody is clear on reserved instance? Okay. Now let's go for the spot instance. Okay. So spot instance is like every data center has some instance space which is not being acquired by clients. Any data center you go. Amazon also has. So what Amazon does, it auctions that particular instance type to the market. Like whoever gets a higher auction will probably win the instance. Okay. One important thing I would like to mention about Amazon's billing, as we are discussing here in the past, I'll come to that for instance, is there is no partial billing. Okay. Don't suppose that just for 3 minutes, you will still charge for 0.1, not for the 3 minutes. Even usually for 1 hour, you will charge like 0.12 per hour. Now let's go to the spot instance. Okay. Now, same thing is 0.12 is the suppose that we put a bit of 0.1, okay, in this instance, and so then to put a bit of 0.1. Take some time, like for some time it would wait, getting more bits. Okay. After okay, I'm losing the bit. We bid for 0.11. Two branches. So the idea is here we charge for 30 minutes as Amazon next instance, not we shut down the instance. Here there will be only charge for 30 minutes. There is no partial. There is a partial bidding. That's all the case you will be charged for 1 hour. You got ma'am. So for all the cases you are charged for 1 hour full. Okay. And in spot instances, if you shut down, you want to charge for 1 hour. If your instance is snatched because of a higher bidder, suppose that you bid it and I higher bid you, then in that case you will be charged for only minutes you use, not for the full hour. Okay. It's snatched. You need to overbid. So there is a very good use case for that. I mean, suppose that you're having a good I/O, you need a higher input-output operation. You either bid higher, or you can have like a parallel instances to support your I/O. This way, your instance code is reduced. Normal one is 0.12. You got normal one for the I/O only. You can shut down the instance. This way, your I/O or your batch process will get a much needed CPU power. Instead of spawning in 5 instances for the batch time and shutting down after the batch, you can simply use this spot instances. And yeah, again, this is unutilized. I mean, and I'll tell you that from the usually the charge is 12 cents. Like, so people are getting it for around 6 cents or so. I've seen the spot instances. People are getting it for 6 cents, but ideas are easily smashed. So the bit somewhere around 8 to 9 or 10 to 100% sure that you're going to be getting it for a money. You can get for 6, that means you are happy, and probably in 15-20 minutes somebody put 7 cents and you instantly get that. This is like Amazon is making money out of it, whatever is remaining. But you need to use it wisely because you are getting a discount here anyway. No, it's not for discount. It's for I told you, right, before the IO processing, batch processing, where you need an
So
additional.
as part of your whatever you were doing, see someone using what instances for this.
Only in the case of IO and batch, actually, people use it. Or some, like, I'll just give you one more example. Like, you upload a video and there's an application that converts into a different format. This is a very IO intensive. Like, you need to have a lot of processing power. Why don't you can transfer this to spot instances? Whenever there's a spot instance ready, you can transfer this. You can convert it into the right format and probably store it in S3. No production system for T2, no production system for S2. This spot instance. It's just an instance type and covering it, so I would like to explain what this is. Okay, so we are done for today. Anybody has any question?
Spot instance, if I don't use it under 1 hour, so then you need to be.
Yeah, you need to continue. I mean, just till nobody overbids, you need to continue.
Or they'll continue to that.
Yeah, they'll continue to charge you. And if you shut down, you need to pay for the partial. Or if it gets snatched by another, you don't need to pay for the partial. So tomorrow Monday I'm going to cover the security, our security and cloud storage options. So this is for today. I mean, I think I was able to give you a good overview of Amazon. And anybody has asked questions, they can ask me. Don't see the board. Any question? Clear? All clear? I think he was sleeping and we waked him up by saying his name here. I think actually he was like. Yeah, I think we did. I'll put you in the last session. I'll give you a kind of practical demo of everything.
One suggestion is whoever has a laptop and you have a credit card, you can take a 3-2 minute for instance.
Yeah, that's what
walk
I
with him and yeah, he will do it, but you can also do it at the same time and see if
yeah, probably
that's
Monday or Wednesday they can either get a
that's what you
laptop.
do.
They can sign up from Amazon. If there is any issue, they sign up. They can.
So sign up, have it ready.
Hey, Ashish, the session is over. You can probably mail me your questions and I'll respond back, or we can have a call like.
Yeah, Moin, what I would do is next session, whenever we have, I would come to Whitefield and get in touch with you and clear all my doubts. Don't worry.
Sure. Monday and Wednesday, I guess the session is. That's what plan it is.
Okay, Monday it's right. Monday I would be there in Whitefield then.
Yeah. Monday and next would be Wednesday. There are 3 sessions.
No issues. I would come over.
Okay. But I'm sure you got to understand at least the basic of it, and you are.
No, I know the basics of all this because I have been working on AWS and all that since very long. So I know all these basics. But there were some things which I didn't know. So we'll talk about this. If you don't mind, can you just mail me this presentation if you don't mind, please? I will drop an email to you.
Okay. Are you recording this?
Yes, I am recording this.
So okay, I'll mail you the presentation. Actually, I have 2 presentations and 3 sessions. So I'll mail all the presentations after the 3rd session to all the people.
Sure, no issues. That would be even great. Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye-bye.